Adventures in Winstopia. Adventures in Winstopia.
Hi, I'm Jimi Coppack, owner of the Electric Church Record Store on Over Square. I've been asked to contribute to a musical memoir celebrating Winsford throughout the ages. So, growing up in Winsford, music has always been a driving force. For a relatively small town, it's always had a rich history of producing some excellent musicians and bands alike. And when I was younger, say much younger than now, I had a babysitter that would play his guitar for me. One song in particular that captivated me was Desperado by the Eagles. I asked my parents for a guitar of my own and set to learning what I could, which actually ended up being just a couple of chords before losing interest. And that's because I soon realised, like the Thin White Duke said, it ain't easy. So I remember getting some money for my birthday, probably my 15th birthday, and catching the bus over to Northwich to buy myself some clothes or something. I actually ended up coming back with a Fender acoustic guitar, much to the surprise of my parents, but the interest was there, the fire had been stoked, so that was what I wanted to do. At 17 years old, I went to study music at Mid Cheshire College, and that's where I met Richard Amsey, who would be the lead singer in my first band, Lost City Ramblers. Amsey was a wild character, very energetic and creative. It didn't take us long to start writing together, and actually a few of our early writing sessions consisted of myself sitting playing guitar on the toilet of my parents' house while Amsey lay in the bath singing. So make of that what you will, but the place had good acoustics, so it was a good place to start. Okay, so vocals and guitar. So that left us in need of a drummer, a bassist, a lead guitarist. So we go back to Mid Cheshire and Mick Pauline, the drummer in Lost City Ramblers. The guy was a tour de force. He's a superb player, and still is. He even went on to creating his own drum company. The guy is seriously talented. So we got a drummer, it was great, and we needed a lead guitarist, and really around that time there was only one person that we wanted, and that was John Wilson, formerly of Orinoco Shores and the Kulaks. So when the aforementioned bands split up, and John was, as you would say, on the market, Rich actually knew John a lot better than me at the time, so he approached him and asked him whether he'd be interested in having a jam with us. And with John Wilson came John Rawlinson, and again an amazing musician with the voice of an angel. So he added a lot of harmony and contrast, and the band was nearly set to go. Okay, so that's the five of us: myself, Amsey, Wilson, John, Mick. So near completion, but not quite. So our last member to join the band was Keely. Keely's presence brought something else to the band completely, a vocal style and writing, very ethereal. And so we've now got a multitude of singers. Myself explicitly off the table singing scared me at the time. Being in the presence of other really talented people, I didn't really say let's have the confidence to sing with the band. Okay, so I'm going to play two tracks now from our, let's say, debut, or actually only album. We never actually got round to completing the second one, but so two tracks I'm going to play are Troubles in the World. This probably is one of the songs that originated in my parents' bathroom a long time ago with myself and Amzi. But I think it demonstrates as well the vocal harmonies that the rest of the other guys brought together. And secondly will be Teenage Assassin. We recorded this in Salford with Dingo, and everyone there, probably literally everyone there, recorded a hey. No, it's a simple lyric, can't really mess it up, but like I said, the idea of singing, it terrified me, so even the photographer at the time got in on it, but it wasn't for me. But still a great track, so hope you enjoy.
Traffic jams in a month I made. Be just my look that I
Okay, so before we move on, I hope you can hear what I was talking about with the harmonies on the first track, Troubles in the World, and then Teenage Assassin, those haze, very simplistic, but did not feature me at all. I want to play another Lost City Ramblers song for you now as well, and to quote one of my favourite films of all time, Almost Famous, I have to say John Wilson's guitar on this is incendiary. It was a lot of fun to play, always one of my favourite tracks. So this is The Last Ride, and I hope you enjoy.
Thrust it home, but I was all alone and I was on my own. Gets a little bit faster. On and on, it gets a little bit faster. On and on, it gets a little bit faster. On and on, it gets a little bit faster. On and on, it gets a little bit faster. On and on, it gets a little bit faster. On and on, it gets a little bit faster. On and on, it gets a little bit faster. You got smoke hot down. The last ride. The last ride. I got 88 bucks to pay for my tax. You know my dog and they do alright. You know I've been taken for a ride. The last ride. The last ride. The last ride. The last ride.
Great stuff. I love that song. Before we move on from Lost City Ramblers, I think it's only fair that we come back round to the music that was playing during the introduction, which was actually Amzi playing the harmonica on one of our tracks, Paradise Lane, which I believe he wrote on the bus on the way to Crewe. Well, whatever the origins of Paradise Lane or Amzi's destination at the time, this is the result, so here it is, Paradise Lane.
Paradise Lane, where I catch my rain, I like to sit and wait. On Paradise Lane, on Paradise Lane, you'll find me and a girl. We don't need no work, 'cause you fuel my world. Flat caps, pigeons, postal rounds, the smoking minnow, he loves this town, and I'm up to some paradise. And if you keep it on the floor, then it won't fall down. And even though you might be short on breath, I'll take you somewhere you can be yourself. The fire will burn to a devil's end. We'll hold hands and try not to pretend. Marianne, she got her eyes to the sky, and when the cloud come over, she'd start to cry. She's laced with trinkets, all silver and gold. Now we'll stay out till it's dark, then walk the way home. And even though you might be short on breath, I'll take you somewhere you can be yourself. The fire would burn to a devil's end, and we'd hold hands and try not to pretend.
Okay, and that was Paradise Lane. It's actually good to hear these songs again. So, you know, all good things come to an end, and with the Ramblers, we after we'd moved to Manchester as a collective, we toured or played, you know, around the UK, and then when we did split up, we obviously went and did different things creatively, and for a few members, Wilson, Mick, Keeley, their next step was a band called Uncle Meat and the Highway Children, sort of a bluesy garage rock outfit. Also had Mark and Alex, so I'm going to play you a couple of tracks from their Can We Play in Your Garden EP. I think I'm probably one of the only people to still have a copy of this. It's been very well taken care of. So the first track I'm going to play is called Apathy and Empathy, followed by a live track from the EP called The Eskimo Song.
As I walk on down this lonely street in this dismal heart of mine, I know we have a lot to do and not very much time. And I know the moon watches over me when I go to sleep, and I really have a lot to say, but in my heart I keep. Well, I'm sorry that you don't. Sometimes I wanna tell the world, but really I know I won't. I think I know a lot of things that are painted on the wall. I'm climbing up that wall so fast I'm only climbing to fall. Told me all their dreams I dismiss so rapidly and act like I've already seen. Until I sleep under the moon, I truly won't know peace. Until that day finally comes, I fear these dreams won't ever see. Quite well, but when he is, is at your door, just pray there is no hell. What a boring life it would be, just left out here to rot. Know exactly what I never have, I don't know what I've got. Always sound the same when they mean such different things. That has always seemed so strange, so strange.
Two great tracks there, very different in their compositions. I mean, Uncle Meat and the Highway Children, absolutely brilliant name anyway, fantastic band. So from there, so Wilson and Keeley then went on to start the Hanami family, quite literally. Alex and Mark, Mick too, I think. They were playing with the Assyrians after that. The Assyrians, again, to name a few of the bands that have come in from Winsford. There's absolutely loads to start with. I mean, around that sort of time as well, Laurel Canyon Boulevard. I mean, just saying that, I mean, for those that know the band, know the guys, so I've got that track stuck in my head now. Unfortunately, I haven't got it to play. But then they went on to change their name to the Laurels. I'm going to have that track in my head all day now. Okay, from Laurel Canyon Boulevard, the drummer Matt Penn, the Beast from Brown Hills, he now plays for Seabirds, another local act in Winsford. Unfortunately, don't have any of their material to play for you either. I mean, just throughout the years, I mean, we've got Deja Vega now, which I'm sure everyone knows about, or Barely Legal, changing their names to Deadbeat Echoes and now known as Deja Vega. We've got the Lucas State, they're doing really well at the moment. They've obviously been signed to a major label, which is fantastic. Previously, also, they were known as the Targets. There's just an absolute abundance of music in Winsford, from, say, the Grey Skies to even further back, the Dirty Mac. Matt actually played there as well. They were a brilliant band. Shakedown Stockholm, artists such as Tim Lee and Sophie Bond, the Purple Tones, and newer bands as well, All Is Vanity, Current Affairs, and Hazel's Maze as well. Hazel's Maze are Winsford, Northwich. I actually remember playing a gig at the Bees with Dave from Hazel's Maze. I have no idea what his band was called at the time, and I have no idea what set him off. I do remember, though, after the gig, him running to the exit by the stage and catapulting it open with his foot. So, actually, while we're on the subject of Hazel's Maze, as I'm sure they won't mind, if we were to play one of their tracks as well. So, this is a relatively new release from them. This is Perpetual Blues. Okay, so a bit of a segue with the Dave the Door Kicker story, but Hazel's Maze, that's an absolutely fantastic track, Perpetual Blues. So going back to the Hanami family, I've picked a couple of tracks from their newest album, Lunar Ticks. So this is the Hanami family taking you on an acid-drenched journey into psychedelia and folk and a whole range of everything else that they put together. It's quite the potent cocktail. I'm going to start with Higher Lover and follow that up with Out Here With Us. So again, let's take a trip with the Hanami family.
Now seems not so vast. 1,000 miles with my head held high, eyelids peeled back, singing high, lover, lover, high, lover. Get your high. I'm working now on overtime. Most of all my time, you put the diamond in our nest. You bang your drum and I beat my chest. Higher, lover, lover, higher, lover, higher, lover, lover, slash, but the root holds fast. This is all that I can bear. This is all I really am. Then come with me and we'll go there. Higher, lover.
out here in the distance, out here in my heart, out here at the edge, in a sweet dark mellow lights, sweet dark mellow lights, sweet dark mellow
Hiya lover, and out here with us, there's a way which only time can really tell. 15 years together can meld two voices to work so well. Two fantastic tracks there from Hanami Family. Okay, so coming full circle from when we were talking about before, the demise of Lost City Ramblers obviously led to Uncle meeting the Highway Children, and then furthermore to the Hanami Family. Myself, after leaving Lost City Ramblers, I moved down south, was in a couple of bands down there as well, but still sort of carried that fear of singing, not something I was quite easily able to overcome. So I moved back to Winsford and decided to start another band. Got together with a friend, Joey Wilcock. He was playing bass, and together we found the rest of the guys that would go on to form Joker's Hour. David McBride, fantastic guitarist, Tom and Mike, and yeah, I sort of ditched playing guitar to focus more on singing, which was something out of the norm for me. So even though Joker's Hour actually did record a fair few tracks, we never actually got around to recording a full album, and unfortunately I don't have any of the remaining tracks available to play. We were together for about 2 years, and like I said, we played mainly around the UK. But from the ashes of Joker's Hour, I then went on to form 1968 with Sam Orr. We've been together for nearly 10 years now, I think, and we've been through a fair few lineup changes as well. Okay, so I'm going to play a track from our very first EP. This was actually released on vinyl recently, which was something I never expected to happen, but obviously came off the back of the work we've done for the previous 8 years. So this is Green Sails, and at the time this was myself, Sam, Bear, Tom Richards, and the drummer at the time was Tom Jury. Okay, Green Sails. So that was from a fledgling 1968. Next on to Duchess, taken from the Fortuna Havana EP. Hopefully there's some progression here, and here we go. Okay, so that was Duchess, taken again from the Fortuna Havana EP, released with myself, Sam, Bear and Tom. And now I'm going to play a track from our debut album. This proved to be, I would guess, one of the most popular tracks from the album. It's definitely one of my favourites anyway. This is Temple of the Acid Wolf with a revised drummer. So welcome to the table, Dan and Matty.
Temple
That was Temple of the Acid Wolf from 1968's debut album, Ballads of the Godless. Okay, so moving along now. When we recorded Ballads, we were playing, as much as we could, we played across the UK. We were lucky enough to play at the Whiskey A Go Go in America as well. We went over to Europe a couple of times, and then COVID happened, which was, obviously very detrimental to the entire music community. So after the initial lockdowns, when we were able to, we started to record our second album. I'm going to play you a track now. This was the single released from the album Salvation If You Need. This is Eastern Wind, which the boys actually recorded in the studio for me to later put my vocals over. So from Winsford to Chorlton to Brighton, back to Winsford, and eventually back to Chorlton. I'm currently living with my fiancée, Micah, who is Slovakian. So that's where the name for the track came from. I heard a whisper on the eastern wind. So I hope you enjoy it, and this is the last track that I'll be playing throughout. So thank you very much for asking me to compile this group of ramblings and list of music. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy.
I've been waiting for so long.
I love you.